Now, the three images that we've placed so far into this document have all been flattened TIFF files. Even though we added a layer into this one, because we linked it, it's essentially treated as a flattened image. But what about if you want to start using layered Photoshop documents? How does that actually work with Illustrator? Well, what we'll do is let's switch across to, or open if you've closed it, our RGB document, our digital campaign. And what we're going to do is come up to the web page artboard that we have up here on the upper right hand side. I'm just going to go to the artboards here and do make sure that we double click to select that. So when we place our image in and everything else, we can make sure it comes in the right place, okay? Now I'm just going to move our button here outside of the artboard. We really don't need that in the way at this point in time. Now we're going to bring in an image. We're going to place, just like we've done before. Go to the File menu, go down and choose Place. And once again, from your project files and the images, we're going to come here this time and select this graphic, webpageshot.psd. All right, see, it's different to the rest of them. It's a Photoshop file. What we do want to make sure this time, though, is that we turn off link, all right? If we leave link turned on, the fact that this is a layered Photoshop file does not matter. It's going to flatten it and place it just like we did with all the other images. So go ahead and turn that off. This means we're going to embed this time, okay? Remember that. And now when we click place, we'll actually see a secondary dialog box. Because we're bringing in a layered file, it asks us, what do you want to do with those layers? Well, what we want to do is simply convert the layers into objects, okay? So it retains both of those layers and keeps them as separate. You can always show preview here as well. So making sure that that's selected, go ahead and click OK, and we'll see the image will come in, and you can actually see two separate items. And basically, what I've done is I've taken this image and done a cutout of me here separate to the background, all right? Now, if I deselect and reselect, you see that they are grouped together, which is kind of important. It would be a shame to bring it in and then accidentally start moving them around. But if we go into the links panel, you can see that as we look in here, the rider and the background, which also has the original rider image in, don't be confused there, both of those are brought in as separate references. So even though we've embedded, they are referenced here as well. Now I do want to make sure that this aligns to our artboard, okay? So I'm just going to deselect, reselect again. Come over here into the align function. We want to make sure that we are aligning to artboard, and then we can say center and center, all right, or top left. Again, everything is lining up automatically. Now this image is another nice one of mountains and everything else. I'm going to let you into a secret here. This was actually taken in the Pyrenees in the Basque Country, so I won't tell anyone if you don't, okay? Alright, now what we want to do is, let's say this is going to be the image for our web page, and we have a series of our stripes that come through the design here, which might be our menu bar, okay, and a logo and that sort of thing. It'd be really cool if they actually came into the image here and underneath me and out the other side, okay? So instead of going into Photoshop and having to separate things and bring Illustrator files into Photoshop, we can do it all here. Now I've already got some graphics saved that we can do this with, so we're going to open up another Illustrator file, so bring up your open dialog box, go into your Illustrator files folder, and let's come down and choose home page design, okay? So it's just a few elements I've pre-prepared that are laid out to fit our design area, okay? And if we just take a look at that, like I said, we have a banner, we've got our logo with a shadow and a border around it, and I'm going to show you how to do that shortly, and also an area down here where we have either image panels or video panels or something like that that could be dropped in. So I'm going to go ahead and select any one of those, and you can see they're all grouped together, so we've got one massive item that makes it easier for us to deal with. And as always, I'm going to copy that into memory, close the file down, and let's paste it into our document here. Now again, we're on the right artboard, so we may as well center and center again, and you can see the design query here. Basically, I want this layer to be in front of the background. Two ways we can do it. We could either select the image background here, ungroup the layers, and take this one and pull it into the foreground. The other thing we could do is we could take all of these graphics and put them inside in isolation mode. So choice is yours. It's really the process that you feel more comfortable with. What I'm going to do is select here, cut this, Command X or Control X on the PC, okay? I'm then going to select our image background. Remember, it's a group, so if we double click and go into isolation mode, you can see here now you could pick up the rider and move that separately. Now there's two. Very cool. Okay, I'm going to undo that. Now we could go back to edit and we could say paste in place, and that will drop our graphics in exactly where they need to be. Now we could select the rider layer and simply bring that to the front using your keyboard shortcut, okay? And you can see that The Photoshop edges, the really nice quality anti-aliased edges here of the Photoshop file are all retained here in Illustrator. I mean, they look really, really good. And even over the transparent black shapes, so this is part of the Illustrator file, this is part of the Photoshop file. The blending and sort of the language with the way that the two talk to each other is really quite spectacular. So I think that's a really good example there of how we can blend these two items together. So do make sure that you exit the isolation mode there, and we essentially have our finished visual for our web page.